the testing only on the test cases implementation. That is where TDD is still useful. Clear? It's a more of a developer-centric approach where you write the unit test, where you write the unit test case before we write the actual code. So for that, there are three steps we need to follow. First step is writing a failed test case before new code. What do you mean by writing a failed test case? That means what? Define the expected behavior first, then code it. First define the expected behavior, then code it. That ensures that your tests are meaningful and your code is written only to meet the requirement. That is what you mean by a failing test. First, analyze the requirements, put the requirements here, define the expected behavior before coding. So whenever we go for a TDD approach, the first step we follow is a red-green factor. That is the first step that we need to follow. Got it? Any doubts in this point? So why we write a failing test first? Because if a test is valid, that means it never fails or it might be broken or pointless. It drives implementation. That means you only write just enough code to make the test case pass and no false positives. Because sometimes what we do in our test case, in order to just ensure that we pass, we put we falsify the test data so that the test case will be passed. So ensures no false positives. That is why we write the fail test. That means what? Fail test, again I'm repeating because this is very important from anywhere when you attend any interviews or when you start understanding TDD. That means we are expressing our desired behavior or functionality before you implement that functionality. That is what you mean by fail first. Clear? Any doubt so far? So with that, we say red stages develops the test requirements, refactor the code to improve refactor code to improve design after test cases pass. Green stage focus on writing the functional code. These are the three different types of stages that we have in TDD. Red stage for writing a failed test case, green stage for writing a minimal code to just pass the test case. That means we write some small functional code to ensure the test case pass first. Refactor means clean up the code while keeping the test screen. So these are the three stages we follow: red, green, refactor. These are the three stages that we follow in TDD. And the thing with TDD is, if you see the image, you need to write a lot of program files where only you can understand. None of the stakeholders can participate, and none of the people can sit in and understand what is happening here. The best example of TDD is JUnit with Java, Python with PyTest. All these things come under TDD, test case driven development. Is it clear, everyone? Any doubts? What do you mean by TDD? You can raise your hand if you're having any doubts. If you're clear enough, you can type yes in the chat box. Okay. So one request from all of you guys is that I need a two-way interaction between us. I don't want to be the session where I'll be discussing something and you are just listening it. If you have any queries, if you have any doubts, please raise your hand and ask. If you're feeling the concept is clear, you can drop the word yes in the chat box. That may help me understand that everything is going fine. So this is the first thing, that is TDD, writing test cases first. Then what do you mean by BDD? Behavior driven development. So BDD focuses on behavior from user perspective. We are not writing a code here at first. We are understanding the behavior from the user perspective. We use plain English language or plain language to describe the behavior. Here we describe the scenarios in BDD like using given, when, then format so that the stakeholders can understand the BDD test case clearly. See, you see a lot of stakeholders. Stakeholders are someone who are investing in our project. Since they are the ones who are investing in the project, they don't understand what is Java, what is this JUnit, what is this test engine. They might not understand the code. So if we write the scenarios in plain language to describe the behavior using given, when, then format, then they can understand, hey, this is something that is easy to understand. If we write the scenarios in a natural language, all the stakeholders will understand that, hey, this is something interesting. This is something actually brilliant to get on with it. So this is what is BDD, and that is why this is one of the most in-demand tools in the market compared to test engine. Because as an investor, I can also see how the test cases are being written. How can you do the testing? So if you see here, given, when, then, whatever it is, the focus of BDD is to write the test cases in a plain language. Clear? We can involve BAs, we can involve product owners, we can involve stakeholders, we can involve developers and all these people for BDD. Now, what are the key differences that we need to understand with TDD versus BDD? TDD focuses on implementation, BDD focuses on behavior. So TDD always the focus is on how do I implement the logic for the test case. BDD always focus on what is the behavior of the test case. TDD uses programming language, BDD uses plain language like how I'm speaking English, how we are speaking in Hindi, how we are speaking in French, Spanish, German, like that. TDD is more developer centric. That means what? If I have to change some code, or if I want to change some logic, that then it is the role of a developer to change it. As a stakeholder, I cannot have any rights. I can just state my requirements, but I cannot ask them to write it in an understandable way because it's Java. The Java code or Python code what we write cannot be converted into some human language unless and until you maintain some high level comments. Then BDD is a stakeholder inclusive. That means what? The customer or the product owner will drive the automation process by stating that, hey, this scenario, I want to have these kind of steps in my natural language. Can you write the logic as per the given steps so that I can understand these are the test steps for the current test case? So this steps will be written mostly by the product owners and a BS in a real-time environment. TDD as red green refactor. Red means what? Understand the requirements before drafting the test case. That is fail first. Green means what? We actually implement the test case. Refactor means what? Enhance and improve the test case. BDD stands for what? Given, when, then. Given is prerequisites behind before start doing the activity. When is the actual activity? Then means what is the activity that we need to do after the test case execution is completed. So this is the primary difference between TDD versus BDD. Since our focus is on BDD, since our focus is on BDD, what is the next topic that we need to discuss? What are the different tools that are present in the related to Cucumber? What are the different tools that are present in the market? Different tools.
Hi, Rahul. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, please.
So, Rahul, so as per TDD, we understood as per the developer what the implementation rating, accordingly, they are rating the test case, right? But
Yes.
BDD means whatever the stakeholder means what we can say, what they have told to write the code according to how we want to test the code. So that means correct?
So let me rephrase you the same thing in a better way, Amit. So
Yeah.
TDD means test case driven development. That means once a developer releases the test case only based on the logic that they have written or based on the requirements that you get from the team only, we do it. Whereas in BDD, the test steps, the behavior is well defined right from product owner level. That means developer is not the one who will take the authority of our test case. BAs and product owners will design like, hey, this is the expected behavior. Write your scripting according to this behavior. Got it, Amit?
Yeah, I got means TDD all response depends on the developer, right? But
All
BDD,
responsibility on developer and automation SDAs, like automation engineers like us, or developers who are writing the test cases in JUnit, or SDAs who are writing the test cases in TestNG. They are all following the TDD approach. Like test case is the hero of the show. Neither product owner, writer, stakeholder can have complete control of what kind of testing you're doing.
yeah, correct. But in BDD, more responsibility of the stakeholder, right? Product owner, right? Because they
Yes,
have given
yes.
the scenario. Accordingly, we need to write the script, right?
Yeah,
Or
accordingly, you need to understand the behavior what customer is wanting. Suppose if the customer wants like, hey, develop a CTM registration, develop a CRM registration page. Instead of registration page, if he has designed some update page, then it's a failure from the development side, right?
yeah. So that scenario we're writing under the feature file, right?
Sorry?
That scenario, whatever the stakeholder given to us, that
Yeah,
thing we are writing inside the feature file, right?
yes. In BDD, whatever scenarios they provide us, we have to write according to it. We cannot play around with our own mindset.
Yeah, good, good. Got it.
Because every test case, what we do, if we are not being a part of the project management, every test case, everything that we submit to the client, every test case will be reviewed, analyzed, and even if a screenshot is missed, I used to get a very huge escalation. That is my experience with BDD in one of the projects.
Then Rahul, we can conclude in the BDD, so a stakeholder, developer, BA, everyone will be involved, right?
Yes,
Yes, correct. But
those
in TDD, only developer involved, right?
developer and test manager.
Yeah, test manager, correct. They will test, yeah, review the code, yeah.
So in BDD, all the three amigos will be participating,
Mm-hmm. Good.
collaborating. Who are the three amigos? One is developer,
Yeah, product owner and BA.
yes. Product owner, tester. BA can be a product owner also.
Then in test lead, you can see, right?
Tester, just write the word tester. Don't discriminate like tester or test leader, something like that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you, Rahul.
Different tools that support BDD in different programming languages. First, Java, the popular one that supports Cucumber. Python that supports Behave. Okay.
Rahul, sorry for interrupt.
Mhm.
So one thing also, what we can hearing in this recent time, so Playwright and Cypress, so all these things come under Java for Java purpose, right?
All this will come under.
Java purpose, right? So just like Cucumber, right? So this alternative Cucumber, so Playwright
No,
and
no, no. That are automation tools. Don't compare automation tools with that. Always Cucumber is linked to your programming language.
okay. So sometimes in requirement coming for you need to do the implementation for Cypress or Playwright, then Cucumber is not coming to picture, right?
See, always remember the architecture. So remember this thing. First, programming language.
Yes,
Programming language is the key.
yes.
Second, automation tool. They are recommending you to use Playwright, Cypress, or Selenium. That is automation tool. Third, Cucumber. It is a library that works hand in hand with Java, the programming language, not with your automation tool.
So Cucumber will work for every tools.
Yes, it's supporting most of the programming languages. So that is what I'm writing now. C
Okay, okay.
hash, we call it as spec flow. What Cucumber libraries that we need to use for different popular programming languages. Got it?
Yes, yes, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Different tools that support BDD in different programming languages. That is what is the question. So these are the different programming languages that's up. I mean, which tool supports which BDD tool supports which programming language. Always remember, your BDD tool depends on your programming language, not on your automation tool. 99% of the people whom I encounter before this interaction, they say Playwright is, Cucumber is dealing in direct interaction with the automation tools. That is completely wrong. The
Yeah, great.
the Cucumber tool or a TestNG tool or a Mocha tool or a PyTest tool, they interact with your programming language. In that test case, you write arithmetic calculations, you write some random stuff. It doesn't even matter. Ultimately, its job is to execute the test cases as per your customization. What you write inside is nothing to no purpose.
Yes, yes, agree.
So Java, it also supports Serenity. Remember this. Java is the programming language where it has mm, support for multiple Cucumber tools. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Compared to other programming language, Java is the only programming language where it has support for multiple Cucumber tools. Cucumber, Serenity, and all. So with this, let's start with the Cucumber documentation. So before that, a small quest to you, a small question to you for people who are having some testing background. So, what do you mean by a Maven? Can anyone tell me?
Yeah, it's build application, but
Can you be more precise? Can you try to be more precise? Right or wrong is secondary for me, but how will you understand is what matters.
so see what the
Storing our
dependency.
dependencies for project.
One by one, please.
So what dependency we need for respective application, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
dependency is first it will download from the central repository. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't have a local repository, so first it download from central repository, then it kept in our local. In next time support same dependency if you need, so it will not need to go the central repository, directly load the our local repository, and it is
Okay.
built application.
Okay. Whatever you have discussed about Maven is one phase of it. What is
Maven used
Maven?
to build
It is,
Java files.
it is a build automation and project management tool. This is the right word we use, not only for library. Okay. Build automation and project automation tool.
So I have a doubt. Like Gradle is also does the same, right?
Gradle does the same thing, but Gradle is very rarely used compared to Maven. I see in only Infi and the TCS companies using Groovy, and rest of the product-based companies they use Maven.
Got it. Yeah.
Got it?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
It helps us in it helps us in building the build a code, because in Maven we have 7 different life cycles.
Just great.
So it helps us in building the code. As someone said, manage external dependencies, generate reports and documentation. We have the concept called as Maven side that helps us in generate reports and documentation, standardize the project structure. Okay, enforce a standard directory structure. Clear? Maven, why Maven means no need to download the jar files manually. Consistent builds across teams. Like suppose if I configure everything properly within the Maven project, if I share this code to Amit tomorrow he can run the code without any issues. Easy integration with all CI/CD tools. Supports multi-module projects. Multi-module is something that is more of a development standpoint of view. We can discuss it later. So again, one more thing. Why Maven over Gradle? Another popularly asked. Everyone knows the answer, but still they ask it. Maven is an XML based file management, meaning it is easy for a human to understand and play around with that file properly. And a simple project structure. Gradle follows. Gradle is a Groovy based programming language. Groovy based file management, which requires some programming skills on Groovy. And and the setup of the tool is somewhat cumbersome. If you see here, gone are the days where people are using Gradle. Maven is the leading tool in the market because of its simplicity, easy to understand, easy to integrate. With this, let's get started with creation of a Cucumber based project. So let me tell you what is the configuration I'm using. Configuration JDK 24, IntelliJ IDEA, Selenium latest, Cucumber latest. So these are the main configurations I'm working on. So I will already have the IntelliJ installed in my project. So let me create a new project. New.
Your IntelliJ screen not visible.
One sec. I'm just going to the right folder.
Sorry, Rahul, one question.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
JDK 24 is required, or can we use
21
for
is minimum. 21.
21 minimum? Okay.
JDK 8, JDK 11, I recommend not to go ahead, guys.
Okay.
So 11 it not means it is work for that.
It was not working out. It is not about that. JDK 8 is officially rolled out. That means what? September 2023 onwards, Java team has clearly stated that we are not providing any security fixes for that tool. So we are not providing any support or any latest enhancements or any latest security fixes for that tool. Got it?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yes.
Just give me a moment. There's some issue.
But Java 17 is
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Java 17 is long-term tool. So you can use.
Yeah, Java 21 is a long-term support. In the month of September, we are getting JDK 25. That is the latest library for long-term support. But I prefer to use latest versions of Java for some understanding the new enhancements and new libraries.
Rahul, Soumya here.
Mhm.
As you said, like for the cucumber, we are using the Groovy, right? So what is
No. For Cucumber, I'm not using Groovy. I'm just telling you what is the difference between Gradle and Maven. That's it.
okay?
If you see here, the XML, always the XML based content is human friendly compared to others. Okay. So let us add all the libraries one by one. So dependencies is the tag that is used to add all the central libraries. So if you want to download any library, MVN repository. MVN repository is the official site where we need to download the libraries. Now I will say Selenium Java. If I have Selenium Java, I don't require any library. I don't require any library like Chrome driver or Firefox driver or something like that. Anyone could state the reason? It's okay. Wrong answer, right answer doesn't matter. If I have Selenium Java, I don't require any Chrome driver, any Firefox driver, or any Edge driver. Can anyone state the reason for this?
I think recently they introduced without writing
No,
code
no,
driver
no.
method directly we can able to launch the our browser.
That is, you're talking about the code. But what libraries? See, first of all, we have to add the libraries, right? Without adding Chrome driver, without adding Firefox, without adding WebDriver, can you write Selenium WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver?
No.
No.
So now what I'm saying is that I'm using only Selenium Java. I don't require any other library. What do you think? Is this possible or not possible? Just a quick question. Yes or no, that's it. Guys, you
Maybe in
don't.
the latest version they have added some functionalities, I guess. So no need to call the WebDriver.
Okay. Come on, guys, go ahead. Anyone can answer. Right or wrong is secondary. So, if you understand Selenium Java, this Selenium Java was the library that was working from the last 7 years. It is not like something new. So we say that in technical language, we say Selenium Java is a transitive library. What do you mean by transitive library? In the Selenium Java only, we have Chrome driver, DevTools, Edge, Firefox, IE, Remote, Safari, everything is there. Got it? Since this is a master library, I need not import any other library. I need not write separate libraries for Chrome, Firefox, and all. The word, if I use the word latest, or all the time it will download the latest library. Tomorrow, if I get 4.34, 4.355 also, it will automatically download the latest library. I need not go and change the version number here. Then followed by what are the other libraries that we need to add? So always we need to download the Cucumber libraries from io.cucumber. That is the official website for Cucumber. So I take Selenium 7.23, I mean Cucumber 7.23. Great. And I add this dependency. Then I need to add couple more dependencies. What are the other dependency? Cucumber core is already part of Cucumber Java, so you need not do it again. Then I say Cucumber test engine. Then couple more libraries, yeah? Just two more libraries I need to add because I just need to create a nexus of all the things. Then I have Pico container. I'll try seeing whether I can use this or not in today's session, but let me have the library. So what I will do here, I will say Cucumber version. Okay, Cucumber version. So we in real time, we don't write the version number in a hard-coded format. We call the Maven variable and we do the execution. Clear? Clear, Soumya. No.
Yes.
So we don't
So
maintain the
what is Serenity?
Serenity is more of a they say it's a zero coding platform of Cucumber, but ultimately I don't believe it's zero coding because there also we need to code a lot. And second thing is that is more. I mean, it has a mini framework inside it. Like it has a screenplay mechanism. We can also write the feature files there. But the way we implement the logic, it requires a screenplay pattern and it requires some actor concept. That's a different game altogether. It's a derived from Cucumber only, but it's a different platform.
Okay.
So Rahul, Gherkin is talks about when then condition, right? So in that grid.
That's beyond that also. That is just the start.
Okay, it's not a transitive dependency. It's isolated, huh?
Why I add it as isolated, you'll understand soon.
Okay,
I need not add this within Cucumber Java, within Cucumber Test Engine. We have one Gherkin that will validate all the things. I have added this for a purpose.
okay. Generally, what I know that means when then condition value are using for the Gherkin.
No, Gherkin is just the syntax. That is just the start.
Okay.
Okay, this is how we created a Cucumber project. This is how the test form.xml is the heart of any mapping project. If your form.xml is not proper, ignore it. Your project will crash big time. Right?
So Rahul, you create a simple Marvin project, right? And then add the dependencies, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Added the dependencies for this demo, not the real time. Okay.
Yeah, I have one query here regarding that dependencies. Is it necessary to add the Selenium in our projects?
If you want
Because
to apply to the web application, you have to have Selenium.
okay.
So let me create a package. What is the name of the package? So let me create a couple of package names, step devs. Let me create one more directory, that is SRC test resources. Here we maintain all the feature files. Here we maintain all the pages. So my bad. IntelliJ might be a new tool to most of you, but I will tell you the business use case why I'm using the IntelliJ tool. Because IntelliJ is the prime, JetBrains team is the prime sponsor for the latest versions of JDK. Even if you use JDK 25 or JDK 24, all the funding has been done by JetBrains team. So if you see, the preview features of Java work well in IntelliJ compared to Eclipse or VS Code. We have pages, step devs. These are the three things that are required for any normal project. Great. So let us open the Cucumber document, Cucumber official site, and let's keep it handy also. Okay. Okay. So that is what I've told. See, if you see the official support, Cucumber JS, Cucumber JVM, Cucumber Ruby, all these are supported. If you see behave, it's unofficial. I mean semi-official, it's not compulsory that it maintains support. Cucumberish, Python, PyTest BDD. All these are something that is not officially supported by Cucumber. Official support of Cucumber is Cucumber.js, Android, Kotlin, Java, Ruby. That is why Cucumber works well only in this Java programming language. Clear? This is the official documentation of why Cucumber is widely used in Java. Official. That means if any issues come up also, the Cucumber official team will come and fix it. Great. So let's understand how do we. I need this Turkish languages. I want to explain localization. Great. Great. So what I will do here is the simple scenario I will take. What is the simple scenario? Login dot feed logins dot feature. That means what? I'll just write a write a feature file for logins. I will say feature. Feature means what is the purpose of this feature file? Understand testing scenarios related to login. Got it? Okay. So this is a scenario. What is the scenario? testing the login scenario for a positive flow. Got it? Testing the login scenario for a positive flow. Given launch the application and when I enter a valid username and I enter a valid password, then and I click on login button, then application should be logged in successfully. I hope this remembers like how you write your test steps in Java, in your test cases for all the manual testers here. I hope it resembles like how you write your manual test steps in your test cases, correct?
Yeah.
This is how we write it. And we use the tags. Login set the rate positive. Okay. These annotations, these tags indicate that these are the test cases, these are the identifiers for this scenario. The beautiful thing with IntelliJ is if you have not written a logic for this step, it will display in yellow color, pale yellow color. If you have already written a logic, it will not display in pale yellow color. Clear?
Yeah.
In Eclipse or any VS Code also, you will not see these kind of enhancement. So I'll say, I'll hover onto this, create step definition, and where I have to, which folder I want to create the step definition. Step definition means, what do you mean by step definition? The logic that where you maintain the logic for each and every step is called as a step definition. So if you see here, for this step, I am maintaining the logic. That is called a step definition. Let me write it. The place where we write the logic for the given step. As humans, we know what logic we need to execute for that particular test. But as a Selenium, as a project, it doesn't know what logic I have to execute for that particular step. That is the reason we call it as a step definition. I'm defining the step. I'm defining the logic for the step. Okay. So what I will do here is private with private driver. Driver equal to new Chrome driver. Great. Or else I'll go for new edge. Whatever I want, I can do it. Okay. Driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Driver dot get. What is the application that I want to do? So this is the sample set where I wanted to showcase it. Okay. I'll be launching the application. Once I launch the application, then I want to enter a valid username. Create step definition. Driver.find element. By.id.
Now, sorry for interrupting one question here. So in the real time, same we need to configure this driver, or
No, in real time it is quite different. If I want you to show a real time framework, it will be very difficult, right? Like in this 2-hour session.
no, yeah. So what's the as per our requirement in the project, we can configure this thing, or how it is?
We
Or
can
any-
configure this everything. We can see the decision has been made by the framework architect. Whether you want to have the test cases for a particular thread level or an instance level, there will be a lot of discussions on this. If you talk me from architect point of view,
but
with
what But anyhow, we are going to launch our application Chrome on Edge only, right? It's real time or anywhere, right?
You're able to launch, but the thing is how much memory we are consuming, how we are ensuring that same driver object that I'm using is being shared across the framework. Same driver object is being shared across the whole project. And I do not see any duplication of test data. And when I'm running in parallel execution, I have to ensure that this drivers are not shared across each and every browser. I have to ensure that each and every browser will have a separate driver object. I have to not use any sharing mechanism of objects. There are a lot of things, and what collection is used as per the CPU performance so that it will improve your coding based on the given test data. And if I run in the VM, how many browsers, how much code time is executing, how much percentage of CPU is being consumed, based on that I have to play around. So there are a lot of things when I come to design a framework. It is
Yeah.
like this, I won't design it. This is just the start.
And most of the time, every project have on UI, right? So according to the UI, they have done this configuration, correct?
Yeah, according to the UI and as per the business rule, because I follow mock UI diagrams. There's a mock UI flow. Based on the mock UI flow, I'll compare this with the UI diagram that I have, and I will write my test cases, all my validations, and all those things. Okay.
Yeah, in my application is as per our implementation required by the project. Yeah, great.
So I have found the element by ID. So this is valid credential is student. What is the next step? I need not worry about it. It will only generate the test step for me.
So what we are going to use this place UI, that is a default.
Sorry,
Is it default? This test automation, what you're using here, that
what I
UI,
mean.
that UI, what we're using here, username, password, the default our UI interface.
Yeah, there's some default credentials are there. I'm passing those default credentials.
Okay.
Okay. Then I want to check application should be logged in successfully.
Can we pass username and password from feature file?
Well, that will do it. Let's go slow. We have 1 hour more time. Let's go it slow. If I do it directly from a feature file, you guys, some of the people might be confused, right?
Yes.
Assert true driver dot find element dot tag name of body dot get text dot contains. Got it? I'm checking whether this in the HTML page I have this text or not. Okay. So I'll have to prepare one more package, that is runners. If anyone says that they can run the scenarios from the feature file, that is a very bad approach. You have to always run from a runner file. Iterate Cucumber options. Where is the path of my feature files? Okay. Glue is where your step definition, in which package do we have the logic for all the step defs. Once this is done, then I'll say monochrome equal to true, tags equal to iterate logins and iterate positive. Okay. These are the tags that I'm passing. Plugin, HTML. I want to generate a HTML report. I will say Cucumber reports.html. Okay. I will say extends abstract testng Cucumber methods iterate data provider. I'm overriding the method from my parent class. Okay. So this is how we prepare an runner file, and this is how we run the test cases. So now the test case is working properly. Any doubts with the initial test case, initial diagram, initial and all?
Yeah, Rahul, here we are giving two tags, right? What is the use of giving two tags? Like we can mention in one tag itself, right?
Since you
In the
have
feature.
one test case, you feel like one tag is sufficient. But if I have multiple test cases, I have to determine, right?
Okay. So in that feature file, if we are having multiple, say like submission form and all,
Yeah, if you have
which
multiple test cases, like I can have one more test case also, right? I will say negative. Then I'll say I enter a invalid username. I enter a invalid password. Then application should not be logged in successfully. Clear?
yeah.
So if there are different test cases, if I want to execute only this test case, I have to use some cucumber expressions. These are called as the cucumber expressions. So I'll say @logins and @positives.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, yeah. So in this case, it will run only the first login. And if
Yes.
we mention as a negative, it will run the second one, right?
Negative test. Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Before running any scenarios, you have to mention dry run equal to true. What does dry run equal to true mean? It helps us in checking whether we have a logic for every step. Sometimes you forget to write the test step because IntelliJ is the editor that is helping you showcase which are the missing steps and all. But if you're working with any other editors, you don't know, right? What steps are missing. So if I say logins @negative, for suppose, we know that there are missing steps. So what I will do, if I say try run equal to true, it will help me generate what are the missing steps. If you see here, it is showing failed, saying that, hey, undefined step definition. What do you mean by undefined step exception? That means you have not maintained the logic for the steps. So it is giving you a syntax. It is giving you the sample template, like how do you maintain the undefined step definitions, undefined steps. That is the power of try run equal to true. For IntelliJ, we don't require all this because by looking at the feature file only, we can get to know what is which step is implemented, which step is not implemented. We'll have a clear understanding. If you are working in different editors like VS Code or in Eclipse, so that time we need is dry run equal to true. If I say dry run equal to false, the test case will be executed. Clear? If dry run equal to true, checks whether the steps are present in the whether the logic is present for each and every step. When I say dry run equal to false, that means continue the execution. Clear?
So now in IntelliJ, it's by default enable, right?
IntelliJ by default it will show you all this yellow colors and all. If it is in white color, then the step logic for the step is present. If it is showing in yellow color, that means you have to write the logic for it. So in Eclipse or VS Code, you don't have these kind of features. So that is the reason in IntelliJ we don't use much dry run equal to true false. Whereas when we work with Eclipse or somewhere like that, we have to use this dry run equal to true false just to have a check whether everything is working fine or not.
Correct. Yeah.
And in the test runner, we mentioned as monochrome. What is the use for that?
Monochrome is to display the output in a proper format. Like Cucumber has a gherkin way of displaying the output. When I say true, it will display in a English format, like how we write it.
Okay.
Because we understand English, they don't understand English, right? They understand some gherkin, some other language, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's assert. Got it? That means this condition should fail. When I say application should not be logged in successfully, obviously this condition should fail, right? It should not pass. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So this is how we run the flows. Yeah. Now if you run login at the rate negative, let us see how it is working. Clear, everybody?
Rahul, one more question here. So we have only one this way to run our Cucumber, or in alternative also? Test
Sorry?
runner. So do we have only one way to run our application? This is test runner, or do we have
This is
any?
the efficient way, not the only way. This is the most efficient way. If you run from the feature file,
Yeah.
always you need to ensure that the feature file and the code should be built. So this is never a right way to run the program
But
from
what I
the
could
feature file.
project mostly we are running in this feature file only.
That is because the lack of understanding of Cucumber. Because I have developed a framework where I have automated around 7,000 to 8,000 plus test cases. Without a runner file, I cannot have a control about which module to run, which module to not to run. If you're running from feature file, your framework is not at all scalable. Remember that thing. You are not running in any CI/CD platforms that efficiently. Runner file is the most efficient way, and any successful framework related to Cucumber works on Cucumber options and abstract test-ng Cucumber test. Because we are one of the few people who are well organized with any Cucumber features or functionalities, because we attend a lot of conferences and seminars with respect to Cucumber.
Sometimes we are getting at the Cucumber context configuration with the
Yes.
Spring Boot.
All these things you will get all these things because you are not maintaining your runner file properly. You are running everything from a command prompt. If you are using a Spring, you can use the Spring commands to trigger this runner file, not pass the Cucumber tags.
And Rahul, one question here. Suppose in the feature file, if you will have multiple scenario, right? So
We'll
every
come to that. If you have multiple scenarios, you just put iterate logins. It will run 2 scenarios.
yeah, that question. Yeah, because we have 15, 16, 20 sometimes scenarios there. So with one,
Yeah, yeah. No worries. If you just put that is why I put one common tag across all the feature files now. There is a common tag across all the scenarios. I'll just call this common tag. Both the test cases will be executed. Clear?
Yeah, sure. We'll comment, right? Then we can run.
Yeah, I have one common tag across all the scenarios. So I'll call that common tag. That way it will pick all the scenarios.
Mhm. And same tag we need to update in the our this runner file, right? Test runner, right?
Just you need to pass the tag in the runner file indicating that, hey, this is the test. These are the tests I want to run.
Yeah.
And if you see the cucumber reports.html, the reporting is also generated.
But
This
in
is
our project recently, what we are doing in the feature file only, we are going to comment and then we are going to
that is a
run.
very bad practice. That means you're not making your code scalable.
Because I'm not a means tester. I'm software means backend developer, so not understanding good depth on this. That's why.
Yeah. That means you're doing a very bad practice. So
Yeah,
this is
because
the default HTML report that is coming up.
yeah, we are learning in this technology means test things.
Yes. So it's a very bad idea, by the way.
Sometimes the report which you are generating that .html files are not generating. Why it's happening sometimes?
Sometimes it's not, sometimes it's if you are using a older version of Cucumber, there are some bug fixes made on the Cucumber HTML course. I'm using the latest version, and latest version is working efficiently. If it's most of the people I know, they're using 6.14, 6.18 versions. 90% of the people whom I met, they're using the Cucumber version 6, but version 7 is so huge and you
Yeah,
can.
I'm using 7.8 version. I'm using.
I'm using 7.23.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't throw any errors. It's all about in the plugin. This plugin is very important if you want to see default Cucumber HTML reports. Okay. So now the same scenarios, I want to write it in French. Let's write it in French. So Cucumber can also support in localization of that particular language. So what will I do here? So that means what I'm telling here, whatever steps I have written, this are belonging to French. When I say it is a French, the words will be different, right? Got it? So this is one problem that this Cucumber is solving. Most of them don't know that Cucumber supports multiple languages, multiple speaking languages. Clear?
Gherkin is same for all. So and when then condition is not
Yeah,
anything.
everything is same, but I have to use their language, right?
Gherkin also one language, right? So how they come from?
Gherkin is the language, but you should understand that if you pass certain words only, this Cucumber will understand and convert into a Gherkin language.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Solid quaint. Yeah, correct. Yeah. That is my expectation. Yeah, correct.
If anyone says that whatever you pass, I will understand, means that means they're foolish.
That's the word.
There are some keywords because these are all languages, speaking languages. You have to convert to Gherkin again.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, as if I know French. I'm just writing it.
Yeah, I got it. So corresponding language they will translate first, right? They will convert first.
But now I have to convert everything to French. So just give me a moment. I have to use some Google Translator or Gemini.
Yeah, definitely they will convert.
English tips to French. Because there was one of my client, he's a Japanese guy and he doesn't know English. So we had to do everything from in a Japanese format.
Yes.
So that is the beauty of Cucumber. Now we understand why people go for Cucumber.
Yes. So many flexibilities are there.
Yes, definitely. And let me also convert this scenario into French. So I like this. I design in 10 programming languages for all my customers. Not programming, speaking languages. So I know that is why I told you I know the challenges of Cucumber. I have faced infinite challenges so far in my this thing. So don't worry. What I will do is you need not write the logic again. I'll make your life easy. Cucumber has one more feature. It supports multiple step definitions. Clear? Same logic, same thing, but same step, but I mean different step, but the same logic. So you can maintain multiple steps at the top. Got it?
And Rahul, one thing, this is not this context. So can we generate our step difference with our AI tools?
No, don't do that.
Hmm?
Don't do that. You'll be
Why?
under the loss. You'll be under big time loss because the BA should do the activity. You should not do the activity. First thing. If the BA is not doing, use your test steps as your step definitions. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't even use AI. If customer gets to know that you are using AI for all your things for generating step tests, then definitely
But
they'll
now
ask you the
everything is converted into AI, right? So our performance and time consuming will less, right? So if you're
no,
writing,
no, no, no. Don't do that because if you're exposing your user story to the AI again, that is one reason. So that is why we are asking us to write the test cases, right?
but at the same time, what I can see is most of the company, this our ID integrated with a Copilot or whatever the AI
That is
tool.
for coding, not for your other task. That is Copilot is for coding, not for your feature files or not for your regular activities.
Is it? Not sure, but they're telling me it will take me less time to complete our task.
Not really, brother, because you name AI and any AI tool, I'm always in touch with that AI tool because I'm spending 1/5 of my salary on the subscriptions.
Okay.
It's just like kicking into overdrive. Once this AI fever is completed, again everyone will come back to, yeah, I need a person who is non-AI. Those days are, I can see those days.
But you know, right, this recent time, everything is working with
Just
AI only,
just
right?
just hold on, just hold on. That is why the people who are having the right skill, they're surviving still in the market is the reason that
Yeah,
they cannot
definitely,
be.
we should have basic knowledge. Obviously, whatever things we are going to learn basic, we should have only we can check also in the AI or whatever. If you don't have the basic understanding, we can do.
AI is only used for research. If you ask me, AI, it is more used in a research. There's something called as deep research, where I use DeepSeek and all these algorithms to create a subject. This is my subject and this is the research. As so and so roles, what can you do it? So these kind of things. And if I want to get in touch with the latest technological updates, there's something called as creating tasks in ChatGPT. So I use those tasks and I do it because I understand the neurons, I understand the technologies that we use in AI ML because there are a lot of tokens, a lot of neurons, a lot of like a human brain. We have to think this ML as a neural brain, like a neural network. Then only you'll understand it more clearly.
Yeah, good. But what I could see in this with AI, what we can help more. So once we didn't get any complex logic, so we can provide to that complex logic to the AI. So they were giving great result, right?
Not really. Trust me. Like if I wanted, I have created one use case, I have created one prompt. It is 30 to 40% efficient, but not completely. Again, I'll tell you one thing. Previously, we had to write the code for 5 days and debug in 5 minutes. Now we are taking the help of AI to build the code in 5 minutes and taking 5 days to debug the code. That is the reality of a developer.
It may happen, but not sure exactly the things.
You see, you are talking about simple scenarios. Think about complex scenarios. Think about a human use cases that we want to do. There it will fail. See, it will be like a good foundation layer, but not the ultimate go-to solution.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
So I have created my French feature file, like the feature file in French. In the recent times, Google AI is super amazing. I've been the part of the conference. It was some 5 hours, and it was super amazing with the kind of AI contributions that they're trying to make. So if you ask me AI, I'll keep on speaking. So don't want it. And there are some hidden dark market secrets about AI. I don't want to discuss all those. Okay. So this is a feature file that is everything in French, no English. Clear?
Yes, yes, clear.
So like this, I can prepare in Japanese, I can prepare in African. So whatever languages that Cucumber supports, we can do it. Clear?
Yes, yes, good. So it's language independent, right?
Sorry?
Language independent, right? Any language we can do this.
Not any language.
Hmm.
Go to the official documentation of Cucumber. Where is the official
What we need.
documentation? Check what languages that it can support. Always, we are some age-old people. You can write your step definitions in Hindi. If you are working with a Hindi client, you can write this in Hindi also.
Really, this thing is good.
So always, we are all, we are all from age-old persons where we still rely on the documentations, not much with AI. With the help of documentations, again, we formulate our requirement and push it to AI.
No, internally, AI also using same documentation, right? So whatever
Yes.
whatever the AI is doing, so also they have some document, right? Template. Or
But they are templates. But I am creating my scenario as a prompt to the AI. I'm not using AI for simple scenarios. Simple scenarios, I'll read the documentation, I'll get it. But if I want to create a use case and create a research on that use case, that is where I use my AI.
yes,
Always we use AI that way. So these are even it supports Kannada for people who are Kannadigas, Korean.
Yeah.
Tamil also it supports. Telugu. See, they're supporting a lot of languages. Even I didn't know that a lot of Indian languages are supported.
Correct.
Yeah. See, you can write your feature files in your own mother tongue also. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Yes, it's very beautiful concept.
Great. So this is something we write in French. Clear? Now you
Yes.
might ask me, Rahul, what's next? I need some beautiful HTML reports. You are generating one Cucumber HTML report. That is fine. I need something more beautiful report.
One more thing, in the feature file, scenario title, you did not change that. Can be also changed, right? The
Yeah, I have to
language.
change that. You are right.
Yeah.
I'm not changed that. I will do that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We have to change that also. Where is my beautiful AI? Got it? Now everything is in French, nothing English. So if you're not using this hash language :fr, it will not work. The moment I remove this, you see whole feature file is gone. Then you're not able to see any play buttons or something like that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
This is how I execute in multiple speaking languages. I'm talking about speaking languages. Now, if I want to add some extend report to this in a very simple way, so we need to add this library. There is one library called as extend Cucumber adapter that is present from Cucumber 7. This is one of the easiest ways to generate the extend reports. Not much of a configuration required. And I reload this library. And this is the plugin I have to call. Okay, let's run the code. And I need extender properties also.
Rahul, one small question I have. So suppose you have, right? So suppose once you're going to convert this code, I mean, this our automation code in the Japanese language, but our Java code only in English, right? So but we're writing the code. So then how
Sorry?
it's our Java code is only English language, right? So what the coding section, right? But how this code will replicate in our
Replicate in our what?
In automation, right? In automation, we have different language, right? So in Japanese or French, whatever.
Yeah, that is why I added one library here. If you see, if someone asked me why have I added Gherkin library, this is the purpose to handle all the speaking languages.
So only for automation purpose, we usually have this Gherkin for conversion for other language, right?
Yes, for automation sake. Because if the clients, see, most of our clients are not English, remember that. So we have to try to automate. If you try to automate this in step definitions in their language, na, you will definitely win the heart. No matter what you do, you need not show something super. You need not do anything. If you at least automate the steps in their language, na, they'll feel super happy.
Yeah, they will see as per scenario based what the scenario we are going to implement in Java,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
validate.
they will see this feature file first. First impression is the best impression. They'll definitely be happy with what you're doing.
Yeah, they'll validate as per the logic also what we are going to do in the implementation, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
But the inside logic will be in English. I cannot write that in French or something because that will be a problem. If they want us to do it in French, we can do it.
yeah.
We can do a configuration. We can
that-
have a configuration for it. I have set up that configuration in my previous project. I mean, in my previous project.
that
That
means
he wanted French, Spanish, and all. We have written in all the languages logs.
yeah, that means feature files should be in our respective language, how it will
Yes,
come, and everything will in our normal language.
yes.
Yes, yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
I hope. How many of you seen this for the first time? Can anyone tell me?
Sorry.
How many of you seen the feature files writing in different speaking languages?
I know only the English language we have, but this is first time I know this is multiple language we have. Right, we can write this feature file.
So don't speak of Namburi. Go ahead. Number you can go ahead.
Didn't get you. Sorry. Number means what?
Someone was raising their hand. Namburi Jayashree.
Okay.
No, sir, I'm saying this is the first time French language we are
Okay.
using.
Sorry. My bad. So whenever you want to generate the extent reports, this is how we generate the extent reports. So we have to configure everything. Spark.start, where you want to generate the reports. Okay. Where you want to capture the screenshots. Like after every step, I want to capture a screenshot. So how do I do that? So let me, inside the step definitions, let me create one class called as hook. I will say @. Okay, I cannot create screenshots. I have to set up the whole project now. It will be difficult. Okay, fine. Ignore it. If I want to capture a screenshot, what I will do here is extend text cucumber extend cucumber adapter dot get current step dot log, launching the application for the URL. Okay. Okay. So I want to capture a screenshot. How do I capture a screenshot? Let me write a generic method. I'm so sorry. Like if I start designing the framework, it will be like a very difficult thing for me to cover everything in 2 hours. That is the reason.
Video also capture Rahul, right?
That we can do it, but not using this Selenium driver. There's something called as WebDriver Manager. With that, we can capture it.
Yeah, in my project I can see
You
whatever.
are using Monte Recorder in your project. This update is just came 5 days back.
Okay, yeah. I could see in my projects whenever any scenario is failing, so we can go there, we can check. When it's place,
Yes,
when it's,
the video
yeah.
recording works when you're executing sequentially. When you're doing it parallelly, it will fail. That is why we have one more feature in Selenium. Recently, we got that feature. Only 5 days back, only we got that feature. Okay. I need to add one more library. Excuse me for a moment. I'm not used to writing throws exception, first of all. The Java developers might know this library. Some Java developers might know this library. Test runners. Login.feature file. I'll use @ sneaky throws. What do you mean by sneaky throws, means? It is the most efficient way of avoid writing throws exception at the method level. Clear? I'll store the screenshot in base64. Why? Because if you are storing the screenshot in a base64 format, the image will be directly embedded into the HTML. Clear? Is this clear, everyone? Why we use base64 in real time is that if I store it in the form of a file, what will happen is sometimes the file path can be different, can change or something like that. If I store it in base64, I will directly embed my image into the report only. Got it? Okay. So this is how I'm adding the logs to each and every statement. Click on submit button. Validating whether the application is logged in properly or not. Okay. So let me go to the runner file. Let me do all these things and so let us see how the report is being generated. So go to the reports folder. So if you see here, is this clear, guys? Any doubts?
No doubt, it's good.
So this is one default report that we can do with Cucumber. Clear? All good? So
Yes, sir.
in order to check whether you can view the report in your system also, what I will do is, let me share the report in the chat box. So I have uploaded the one report in the chat box. Can everyone of you download and check whether the report is coming or not in your system?
Yes, bro, it's showing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's showing as what you have shown, same thing.
Yeah. So that is why I use base 64. If I use base 64, every report that we have, every screenshot that I attach, I will not have any file dependency. I'll directly attach the report to the base HTML file. You can see it by yourself. Clear? Any doubts so far?
Yeah, it's good.
So this is how we did it. Now, when you go to the pages, yeah. So I'll say let the rate all arcs constructor, or I will say let the rate builder, private web driver. Okay, and I will use one more annotation here. Field defaults. So what are these annotations all about? This builder helps us in creating a flexible objects. That means what? If I have 5 arguments, I can create an object with 1 argument, or 2 argument, or 3 arguments. That is my choice. Field defaults means what? Whatever variables I am declaring in this class, everything is private by default. Clear? Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, yes.
So Amit, you must have worked with Lombok, I believe.
Yes, yes, I know, very remember.
Yeah, you're a developer, so I can easily
Yeah.
say. Because Spring annotations, who knows Spring annotations? There's nothing for them.
Yeah. Removable setter getter.
Sorry, no need of getter setters.
Yeah, that's a Lombok, right?
Yeah, yeah. By, where's my step definitions? txt underscore username. Okay. Okay. So what I do here is go to login pages, everything is fine. Is there login page equal to login page dot builder dot build. So I'm creating an object. Okay. Now what I will do next? So instead of this, I will say login page dot enter username. One, two, three. Login page dot. Click on submit. Click on login. Clear? Login page dot enter username. Student 123.
72nd line password. Yeah. Login page dot enter password.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
So okay. So this is how we have entered. Clear? So here we are following the page object model and we are executing our test cases. Now what I will do here is, and now we have written separate individual scenarios for running the test cases. So what I will do is, let me run the test cases for multiple examples. Multiple test data, where I will say scenario outline. That means what? Testing the login scenario with multiple sets of data. Given, launch the application. When I enter the username as and I enter the password as and I click on login button, then application should be logged in. Only step I write is application should be logged in. So based on the data that I pass, I will make a decision. So I will use the word example where I will pass multiple test data. Clear? I'll say student password 123. I'll say student 123 password, something like this. Clear?
Yes.
I enter the username. So okay, enter the username as then I'll say I enter the password. So this is how we use this concept. Okay. Then I'll say application should be logged in. When I say application should be logged in, so what I have to do here? Here, whatever username and password I'm using, I have to pass it. I'll say string username, string password. Username equal to I'll say this dot username equal this dot equal to username, this dot password equal to this dot password. If username equals student and then password equals 123, then only I have to check this. Else okay. So these are the things that we need to follow. So if I run this test case using the runners, so let us see how does this work.
Yeah.
Clear? Any doubts? How we run the test cases using this?
What was the problem, Rahul, that it didn't create the object? So you
Builder pattern was having a problem because it was expecting objects for these also. So what did I do means I just used required as constructor. So what is this required as constructor? So for which variables you want to have a constructor, we can define it using this annotation.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any doubts so far? Yeah.
Rahul, I'm having another scenario like there are two feature files. One we have declared them in submitting the form and where we used to get the registered ID. So that ID I want to use in the other feature file. So how can we do that?
That I have to design framework. That cannot be done directly. I have to create a buffer, sort of a buffer memory in my framework design where we can store the data across our scenario and we can rotate around the test data. So I have to create a complete design for it. It's not the straightforward approach. I have to create the whole framework only to get it done. Till then, you can use system.set property. In order to sustain the show, you can use system.set property of user ID and you can use system.get property of user ID. So using the system properties, you can set and get the data.
Okay. Thank you, Rahul.
So Rahul, that much a buffer of time we need to wait, right? Suppose some millisecond like that, right? Once we'll get the response from one scenario, that scenario response depends on other scenario, right?
Sorry, Amit.
Suppose if we have what we mentioned, right? So if we have two scenarios, right? Once we get registered ID, so that registered ID depends upon the other scenario. So first we need to take this response, then we can wait some time. Then we can
No
navigate
need
to
to wait. Just keep on going it because we know what scenarios are dependent on each other, right? Once you get the user ID, then pass
Then
it
what
immediately to the
what
next
the meaning of
scenario.
buffer timing? Buffer timing of
Hmm?
what is buffer time for means? Buffer.
Buffer memory at all. I didn't tell buffer time. What do you mean by buffer memory? Means whatever data that you want to store across the framework, we store it in a temporary memory. Whenever you want to get the value, you can get the value from that buffer memory.
Okay. Got it.
So if I keep on discussing, this will be like a long roadshow because if I want to discuss about Cucumber, there will be data type registry, there will be a data table concept with Pojo and examples with Pojo, and we can have CSV with examples. So there are a lot of scenarios that we can cover. There are a lot of examples we can cover. There will be a lot of things again. So last 10 minutes is for you guys. Last 10 to 15 minutes is for your doubts or any questions if you have.
Rahul, can we get this recording?
Recording, I'm not so sure. The admin team will be the right person to clarify this doubt.
Rahul, suppose if any XML files and JSON objects that is supported in Java 24, because sometimes we are using Google.json and for that we are not get
What is the use
supported
case for the JSON file?
to generate the XML files which is getting from the JUnit test cases, and I have to use it in the Cucumber test case to verify whether it is correct or not.
Okay, you want to validate two files ultimately.
Yes.
JDK, obviously, whatever things that work in the older versions of JDK will be still working in newer versions. That is not a problem. Backward compatibility is the beauty of Java. Cool. Any other
What
questions?
is the purpose of this business package? Like, what do we write in that
Here
business
we
package?
have to write. Here I have to write my full business logic. Like I've just entered. Since it's a very simple scenario, I need not require business package. But what we use the business package is for is that I have to enter the. I have to prepare all the components here in the real time. Whatever logic I'm writing here, if you see in the step definitions, I'm calling I'm calling enter username, enter password directly. But I should not do that. Whatever logic is there, I have to call from the business component in real time. Like if you want to fill a form, the logic to fill a form should be in the business package, not in the step definition. Clear?
Yeah, clear. And can we get access for this repo?
I'll have a word with the team because I don't know whether that's just have a word with the team. They'll be the ones who can guide you better.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what is the Cucumber demo that I have planned for today. It's not like this is the end of the road, just a brief understanding of how we do this BDD and all these things. Background is the place where we maintain the common steps. Like in this case, launching the application is a common step, is the starting step for all the scenarios. So what will happen for every scenario? This is the first step that will be executed. Clear? This is the common step for all the scenarios. Like the first step is to log into the launch the application. So what will happen for every scenario? This activity will be performed. That is launch the application. So if you have any common step that is present across all the scenarios, which should be executed first, you can maintain it under background keyword.
So we can write this given in individual tests as well, right? Like background as well as both the places we can write.
Both the places we can write, but I prefer to write in background because this is a common step for all the
Okay.
scenarios.
Okay.
So these are the things that we look at it. So there is something called as scenario templates also. That's the new thing in Cucumber that is called as scenario templates. So we can also discuss that, but not now because the Cucumber is a very vast subject. If I keep on discussing, then there's something called as Java reflection with Cucumber also. Then we have data type registry. We have a lot of things to discuss in Cucumber. It's not a very small subject. Like how vast is test engine? It's double the size of in Cucumber. Clear? Any doubts, guys? The floor is open for you for any doubts. Great. So that's it from my side. The rest is up to you guys. If you have any doubts, you can ask.
So Rahul, if I need to use the Playwright and Cypress, then how I can integrate this thing in this?
Same thing. Same thing. If you want to use Playwright with Java, instead of Selenium concept, you use browser context equal to new browser context. Browser context page equal to new page. The setup remains the same. Only thing is you have to rearrange the code. Cypress is a complete JavaScript, and Cypress is one of the most useless tools right now because since the Playwright has come into the market, Cypress market has been completely destroyed.
Okay.
Playwright and Selenium are the leading players in the market right now. I'm waiting for Selenium 5. If Selenium 5 comes, then it will be like a game changer for the Selenium.
But recently, most of the poet they are going to use Playwright also, right?
Playwright is just like they're starting to use in the new project, but still, Playwright is still 3 years old in the market. Like the first stable version released in 2022, and we are in 2025, and still 3 years old. The tool is still 3 years old and still requires a lot of things to be enhanced. And Playwright is not W3C. Selenium is W3C recognized tool. So that itself is the major difference.
So it depends on the project architecture, right? So what the
Project
design.
architecture, scalability, because Selenium has proven its worth in terms of scalability or something like that. And the community support for Selenium is vast. It's super vast. And Playwright, since it is designed by Microsoft, they can make this Playwright tool paid anytime. If they feel like most of the people are using this Playwright, and if they want to monetize, they can make this as a paid tool. That is what I did with Microsoft Office in the year 2000. He released it for free for so many years, like 4 or 5 years, and they made it paid all of a sudden. Now it's like a monopoly. Now you cannot, without Microsoft tools, we cannot survive. That is the business strategy of Microsoft. They're not into charities. If you see their history,
Yes, correct. Mhm.
if
So
they make it as a paid tool, whatever things you have done, you have to purchase now. So purchasing again, it's a problem. So again, every time relying on Selenium is always the best approach.
it's good. Yeah, got it. In my project Playwright, they're going to use. That's why I asked this question.
I have worked with a project Playwright with Spring for one of the US clients in my and my friend and for my friend. So I've also done that. There are a lot of challenges when they design. So I had to restructure everything and do it in such a way that it works like how Selenium works. So there were a lot of restructural changes I did. So I ignored that Playwright is a different tool. I considered Playwright like a Selenium tool and made it work, made the Playwright features work as and when I require them.
Mhm. Okay. But we
Playwright
can,
is a bad combination, but still.
as a developer, we can do whatever they have told need to work.
Yeah. So for me, we have got the complete freedom of whatever tool you use. We want scalability, output. That is what they require.
Yes.
Tools and all, we are not worried about it. Whatever you do, ultimately it should reduce the testing time and testing efforts.
Mm. It makes sense. Yes.
So that's it. Great. Great. If no one has no doubts, then we can call it for the day.
Yeah. Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you.
Beautiful class.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Rahul.
Thank you.